pregnant. And so at 7 months pregnant, I was terrified. I was like, I cannot bring a person into this. This is a freaking mess. Like, this is a mess. And I can't control this. I gotta get out.
At 45, Kelis is reportedly ready to speak and confirm everything. And fans can't help but wonder what the issue could be this time. Could it be about Nas and what he did to her?
The whole story that, like, you keep me from my child. Really? When did that happen?
After all, she's been through a lot over the years. From that dark marriage with Nas with claims of domestic abuse, substance issues, and messy co-parenting after their divorce.
I am a mother. I will protect with my life. With my life. You can call me gold digger. We have to have gold to dig it, but okay, gold digger. He got money 2 years ago, guys, like seriously.
But it wasn't just that. Kelis also had her fair share of personal struggles. She's been arrested for disorderly conduct, got into public beefs with other artists, and even got sued by her own nanny.
The reality is that my real beef is not only with Beyonce, because at the end of the day, she sampled a record, she's copied me before, she's done it before, so have many other artists. It's fine, I don't care about that.
So now, everyone's asking, what more could she possibly be dealing with? Let's get into it. Kelis Rogers was born on August 21st, 1979, in the United States. She was a singer and a chef. When she was young, she went to a special high school in New York City that focused on music and art. Later, she met two music producers named Pharrell Williams and Chad Hugo.
The song was already done. Maybe just a beat. It probably doesn't need anything.
They were known as the Neptunes. They helped her a lot. Because of them, she got a music deal with Virgin Records in 1998. This was a big step in her career. In 1999, Kelis made her first album. It was called Kaleidoscope. She used sounds from the 1970s like jazz and disco.
I hate you so much right now. I hate you so much right now.
Many people liked the music, but it did not sell well in the United States. However, the album did better in other countries. Her second album, Wonderland, came out in 2001.
Gotta get it out, I don't care if it's still,
But again, it did not sell well. Because of that, she left Virgin Records. Years later, the album finally came out in the US. After that, she signed with a new music label called Star Track. In 2003, she made her third album, Tasty. This album made her very famous. The song Milkshake became a big hit and reached number 3 on the Billboard chart.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours.
But sadly, behind her successful career, Kelis had a troubled personal life. In an interview, she talked about her past relationship with rapper Nas. She opened up about how they met, fell in love, and how things went bad. Kelis said they got married around 2002 or 2003.
We got married before our wedding, so we were already married by the time we...
Before you had the ceremony and all that.
Yeah, like
and the green
way
dress
before
and all
that.
that. Okay.
It was a private wedding at first, and then they had a public ceremony later. At that time, not everyone was happy about their marriage. Kelis shared that her mother didn't approve of it. Her mother felt like it was not going to last. Looking back, Kelis said her mom was right because the marriage did not end well.
She saw it was like we were going to crash and burn, which we did, so thanks, Mom.
She explained that their time together was very different from today. Back then, things were more real and less about social media or looking perfect online. There was more honesty and hard work in the music world. Kelis said people forget that she was already successful before she met Nas. She had already released her third album and had won awards. She made a name for herself and was doing well in her music career. She didn't need anyone to make her famous.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours.
Kelis and Nas fell in love quickly. She said they were both the type of people who could shut out the world and just be with each other. For a long time, it was just the two of them. But things started to fall apart when other people got involved. When outside opinions and problems came in, the relationship got worse. Kelis said that the relationship was never really healthy. They were young and living a wild lifestyle. Kelis said she was only 22 when she met Nas. They drank too much, smoked too much, and spent too much money. Everything was too much. They were living fast and hard. But when things were bad, they were really bad. There was no balance. There were no calm or normal days. It was always either really happy or really sad. That made the relationship very hard to live in. Kelis called the relationship toxic. She said there was always tension between them, and she didn't expect it to be that way. She also talked about cheating in the relationship.
It's funny, because someone asked me, that was the straw that broke the camel's back, but that wasn't it.
Some people thought she ended the marriage because Nas cheated on her, but she said that wasn't the main reason. Nas had been cheating for 2 years, and Kelis knew about it. But she said the real problem was everything else happening around that. The cheating was just one more thing added to the pain.
He'd been cheating for 2 years and I knew that. It was because on top of all the other stuff, then you're gonna cheat? Okay, this is too much.
When asked again about the violence, she confirmed it. Yes, Nas hit her, and yes, she hit him back. She called it mutual fighting, but the cause was clear. He drank too much. They would party together, but he would keep drinking even after she stopped. Sometimes she didn't even remember the whole night. That's how bad it got. They both hurt each other during those fights, but it was still abuse. He would drink a lot, and sometimes he would black out. After a terrible night, they would wake up and act like it never happened. That kind of life became normal, which was not okay.
We would fight. So I never just sat there, but we would definitely fight.
After a night of fighting, Nas would try to make things better by giving her gifts. Kelis said she loved gifts, but after a while, gifts weren't enough. The pain was still there. The gifts didn't erase what had happened the night before. That kind of behavior became a cycle. Fighting, gifts, silence, repeat. Things got really bad. She said if she told every story, it would be hard to believe. It became too much. She said she might have stayed longer if she had not been pregnant. But being pregnant helped her realize she needed to leave. She said, God is good, because the pregnancy pushed her to think about more than just herself.
I was pregnant, and so at 7 months pregnant, I was terrified. I was like, I cannot bring a person into this. This is a freaking mess. This is a mess, and I can't control this. I gotta get out.
She felt scared and out of control. She knew it wasn't safe or healthy to raise a child in that kind of environment. So, she made a big decision. She filed for divorce in April, and her son was born in July. It was not an easy time for her, but she knew she had to protect herself and her baby. But sadly, the problems between them didn't end after their divorce. There were still many fights, especially about their child and money. One big issue was child support. Kelis said that Nas was ordered to pay $8,000 a month, but the journey to get that support was not easy. She compared her situation to another woman who had a child with singer Chris Brown. Both women were dealing with famous men who didn't want to pay child support or take care of their kids properly. Things became hard after her son, Knight, was born. When she got back, she found a foreclosure notice on her front door. That meant the house was about to be taken away because the mortgage hadn't been paid. She was shocked because she had no idea the mortgage wasn't being paid. Kelis explained that she hadn't been working because she had gone to culinary school in 2008 and then got pregnant. She trusted Nas to handle the mortgage payments, as they had agreed. Before her pregnancy, she used to tour a lot and made money from performing. She would usually pay the down payment on their homes, and Nas would pay the monthly mortgage.
For all of our properties and stuff, I would always put the money down, and then he would pay the mortgage. That was our agreement.
But during her pregnancy, she wasn't touring or earning money.
I toured. I always toured. There was years where like me and Macy Gray were the only black artists in Europe. There were none other. Like it was me and her. We'd be like, hey girl, like I'm just like so glad to see you.
Kelis thought Nas would keep paying the mortgage, especially while she was away and pregnant. But he didn't. She said she didn't even know he had stopped until she came back home and saw the notice. When she called him to ask what happened, he didn't seem to care. His answer shocked her. He told her, "Go, expletive yourself." She said this kind of response from him became normal after that. It wasn't just a one-time thing. It happened many times.
And, I called him and I'm like, yo, there's a foreclosure notice on our door. Like, what's up? And his response, which has been very consistent ever since then, was, go fuck yourself.
Nas finally spoke out about the things his ex-wife Kelis said about him. He said, "I do not beat women." He shared his feelings on Instagram and said this would be the first and last time he talked about it. He seemed tired of the drama and wanted to clear his name, especially for the sake of their son. Nas said he got a phone call from Essence magazine. They told him Kelis was doing another interview about him. He felt the story was not true and said it was made up. He asked her, "Is this what your life has come to?" He believed she was using his name just to get attention and maybe more fame. Nas said it was wrong to use other people's pain just to hurt him or to make herself look strong. He said this kind of behavior tricks people, and it's not a good example for their child.
First off, let me real quick just summarize. He basically said Kelis has made his life a living hell just to have a relationship with his son, and he would like to have that relationship without all the drama.
Nas also said that Kelis made plans and lies just to make him look bad. He said she had no real proof behind her words. He explained that he didn't want to speak up before because he truly respects women. Most of all, he respects his son. Nas made it clear again. "I do not beat women. I did not beat up my ex-wife." He told her to stop the lies. He also said she lost in court, so she should stop trying to make him look bad in public.
The whole story that like, you keep me from my child. Really? When did that happen?
In another part of his message, Nas said Kelis had been verbally abusive to him for years. He said she even hit him earlier this year while their son was watching. He shared that she did not let him see his son one weekend just because her parents were visiting. He felt sad and said this kind of thing had been going on for his son's whole life. He said even their son noticed the way she treated him.
This year, while trying to pick up our son while he watched from the window, it was my weekend, and you denied me that because your parents were in town. I just went home. This has been my life, my son's entire life.
Nas also said that Kelis insulted many people around him. He said their assistants knew how she acted but could not speak out because they had signed papers promising not to talk. Nas felt she was often mean to both men and women. He wanted people to know the truth. Now, her former nanny is speaking out too. The nanny, Soraya Tascan, said Kelis did her wrong. Soraya filed a complaint with the Labor Commission in California. She said Kelis didn't pay her for taking care of her kids. But that's not the only problem. Soraya said Kelis also left her behind in London with no way to get home. The nanny had to pay for her own flight to Madrid and later to Los Angeles. Soraya worked for Kelis in 2016. Kelis hired her in June to care for her baby, who was only 6 months old, and her son with Nas, who was 7 at the time. Soraya said the deal was simple. She would travel with Kelis on tour and also help out at home. She was supposed to earn $750 every week. Her job was to babysit, feed the kids, prepare bottles, wash clothes, pack bags, and help with showers. But Soraya said Kelis never gave her the money she earned. She asked many times, but still didn't get paid. In July 2016, Soraya said she went to London with Kelis. That's when things went bad. Soraya said Kelis fired her right there in London and didn't help her get home. Soraya had to pay out of her own pocket for a flight back to her family in Madrid and then a flight to Los Angeles. She told the court that Kelis owed her for more than 100 hours of work, plus overtime. On top of that, she said Kelis needed to pay her $1,200 for her travel costs. The labor commissioner looked at everything and believed Soraya. Even though Kelis said she fired her because she didn't answer phone calls, the commissioner sided with the nanny. Soraya won the case and was awarded $17,623.73. But that's not all. Kelis is also facing another lawsuit. This time it's from a talent agency called Drive Talent Incorporated. They say she didn't pay them for work they did. The agency helped her with bookings on big shows like The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, The Today Show, and Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. They said she owes them $11,817.91. People are starting to wonder if Kelis just doesn't like paying her bills. Some even say she took all of Nas' money during their divorce.
I hate you so much right now. I hate you so much right now.
Kelis spoke honestly in an interview with NME.com. She said she put her use of the drug ecstasy on hold. She also talked about how she almost got arrested for smoking marijuana near her home in New York. According to a police report, Kelis ran toward police officers while yelling angry and racist words. She tried to stop a police operation by causing a scene. Kelis, who was 27 at the time, was taken by police around 4:30 a.m. She was charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. However, she did not use violence. She was let go after paying a $1,500 bond. Kelis said she still enjoys smoking weed, but decided to stop using ecstasy for now. 2 of her close friends had to go to the hospital after taking the drug. That scared her. She gave 3 simple reasons why she no longer liked using ecstasy. First, she said the high from the first time is the best, and you can never feel that same way again. So people keep chasing a feeling that never comes back. Second, she said some of her friends used ecstasy every day. She saw how badly it affected them. One problem she noticed was that the drug made it hard for men to perform sexually after a while. She said that's not something people talk about often, but it's real. Kelis said she didn't want to depend on a drug to feel happy or excited. She wanted to be in control of her own feelings and emotions. She believed it was better to feel good naturally than to need a drug to feel that way.
Under her June 10th post, one social media user asks if she would like to comment on the dating allegations with actor Bill Murray. Her response, "No, babe, I wouldn't bother at all."
There were rumors of Kelis dating Bill Murray, the funny actor from movies like Ghostbusters.
I'll take Miss Barrett back to her apartment and check her out. I'll go check out Miss Barrett's apartment.
People said they were a couple, but Bill cleared the air and said that was not true. He spoke about this during a radio interview on Sway in the Morning. Bill said, "I met this girl named Kelis. I got great press that I was dating her, which really raised my cred." He was joking and said it made him look cooler, but he also said it wasn't true. Bill shared how he first saw Kelis. He became a fan after watching the music video for a 1999 song called "Got Your Money" by Old Dirty Bastard. Kelis was in that video. Bill said, "That song just kills me. I love that video."
Baby, I got your money, don't you worry. I said, hey, baby, I got your money.
He couldn't believe he missed it when it first came out. He remembered seeing a girl with red hair and asked himself, "Who is that?" It was Kelis. After that, he really wanted to meet her. Bill said he did get to talk to Kelis and said she was amazing. He also shared something interesting she told him. Kelis bought land in Kenya, Africa. She wants to live there and start a farm. Bill said she is brave and not afraid to go live far away. He was very impressed by her. Then the radio host asked Bill if he ever dated Kelis. Bill smiled, shook his head, and said, "No." He joked and said, "Hey, one of us could be on the rebound any second," meaning maybe one day they could date, but for now, they are just friends. He also joked that she might need a plowman, someone to help on the farm. In June 2023, a news site called the US Sun said they were dating. People saw Bill watching Kelis perform in London. They even took a photo together backstage at a music festival. That made fans believe something was going on. Later, Kelis said the rumor was not true. Someone on Instagram asked her if she was dating Bill. She laughed and said, "No, babe, I wouldn't bother at all." Another person said the media was lying. She answered saying, "People believe anything," but she and Bill were still happy and doing well. Some people thought they became close because both lost someone. Kelis's husband died in 2022 from cancer. Bill's ex-wife died in 2021. But even if they were both sad, that didn't mean they dated. Now it's clear, Bill and Kelis are not a couple. Going back to Kelis's career for a bit. Kelis and her album problems with record labels. Kelis had many problems with record labels during her music career. One big issue happened with her album Wonderland in 2001.
Gotta get it out, I don't care if it's still,
The record label did not give it enough support. They didn't promote it well, and it was not even released in the United States. Only some people in other countries got to hear it. This made things hard for Kelis. She worked hard on her music, but the label did not help her get it to the public. She felt like they didn't care about her vision or style. Later, in 2006, Kelis released another album called Kelis Was Here. Again, she had problems with the label. There were changes in the people who managed the label, and they didn't support her the way she needed. Because of that, her album didn't get much attention. Kelis wanted to make music in her own way, but the label didn't always agree with her. These fights with the label made it harder for her to reach success the way she wanted. In 2012, Kelis's management said her 6th album would come out that year. She worked with music producers like Scream, Burns, Tom Neville, Dan Black, and Caspa. The first song from that album was Distance, and it played on UK radio in the middle of 2012. Kelis said the music had a 1990s feel and sounded more deep and electronic. But problems came again. She sang on 2 songs in 2013, Dan Black's Hearts and Scream's Copycat.
Come here, copycat, you my puppet. You know I love it.
She had a fight with Scream because he didn't want her in the music video for Copycat. After that, she decided to stop making dance music. She said it wasn't fun anymore. Sadly, the rest of the songs from that album were never released. In 2001, Kelis had a public fight with rapper Eve. They argued over a song called Cowboy.
I ain't worked this hard not to ball and live lavish and let some clown take my shine like I ain't working.
Both Kelis and Eve said they had the right to the song. Each of them believed they should be the one to use it. This caused a lot of problems between them. The fight showed how hard it can be when 2 people work on the same song. Sometimes people do not agree on who owns what. In the music world, this kind of problem happens a lot. Many artists want credit for their work. When they don't get it, it can lead to anger and fights, like it did between Kelis and Eve. This fight made people see how confusing and difficult it can be to work together in music. Years later, in 2020, Kelis spoke about another problem. She said Pharrell and Chad treated her unfairly. They helped produce her first 2 albums. Kelis said they promised to share the money from the albums. She thought they would all get equal parts. But Kelis said she never got any of the money. She felt cheated. She said they lied to her and tricked her. This made her very upset. Kelis said she worked hard on those albums, but she did not get paid like she should have.